Guys, welcome back. We're gonna go fishing. And this is a special episode where that I'm here with my dad,
That's me.
Tim, and Elizabeth and I are gonna ask him questions.
Oh no, don't ask.
You're gonna ask him questions?
You can go first if
Okay,
you
so
want.
I googled questions to ask a senior.
A senior.
Yeah, so the first one is, what do you remember about the place you grew up in?
Well, I grew up in a lot of different places.
Well, which one did you spend the most of your time in?
Oh,
Wasn't it Frederick or no?
I do know that. I think my fondest memories are of growing up in.
I didn't know that you grew up there.
I went from third grade all the way to eighth grade there, 5 years. We just lost it.
Alright. Lily knocked it all over. We're back. I didn't know that you lived in the Ozarks.
Yeah, I lived in Anderson from third grade to eighth grade.
Wow.
That's not
I
that
actually
long,
got
though.
I actually got my picture in the paper in
For-
eighth grade for doing a presentation on how a gas engine. I brought a small gas engine to the class. I didn't start it up in class, but
Is that how old you are? That, like, it was a thing that not everyone knew how a gas engine worked? You lived, back
yeah.
then?
No, even the teacher asked me about her lawnmower. But I got my
Oh,
picture in
man.
the paper, and
You probably need me to do the fishing because I'm the one who got the big boy last time.
Yeah, you fishing.
Nah, I'll make you work for it.
that's one thing about living in the Ozarks. We used to walk and go fishing after school every day.
See,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
Down through the
perfect. You're
creek,
asking
yeah.
us senior questions, senior citizen questions while you fish.
We fished
not
a
a
little
senior
better
citizen.
than
He
you
is a
fishing.
senior citizen. They start giving
That's really
senior
cool that you
citizen
got the-
discounts at 55. You're just gonna get him up to you. You need to let him bite
I
it.
used to walk down behind the post office. We lived on Main Street.
You gotta let him bite it.
Well, I mean, I'm trying. Used to live next to the post office?
Now we lived about 3 blocks from the post office on Main Street, and we lived up on the side of a hill. Walked after school, and when Dad would get home from work. But see, Dad was in California for a lot of it, and so I'd walk down there with my older brothers, go fishing in the creek. 2 creeks came together, post office, and spent a lot of time down. A park and a creek.
Do you know
It's really cool.
the history of your family name? Or the crest or the origin? Do you at least know,
they think that they think it's German and Scottish.
I thought it was German, yeah.
German and Scottish.
That's all that you think
Fish
you
is
are?
being so stubborn.
And probably just regular European.
The lure.
European is like all of those countries.
I know.
You mean British?
I doubt it.
Mm.
Or probably maybe
Gotta find
probably
those.
a little bit of Vietnamese. No, I'm joking. I don't think we have any eggs.
That's one.
But I would like to get my mom's DNA checked.
You could just check your own
'Cause she
DNA.
never knew exactly. She just said, "Well, I think." Thought she was, I think, Scottish.
Okay, here's the question. What are the most important lessons? Alright, let's just pick one lesson from you, Paul. What's the most important lesson you learned in your life?
The most important lesson
Yeah.
I've learned in my life.
Mhm.
Sit here. That's it.
The deep question.
Don't sit around a game answer questions for seniors when you're old.
Well,
Now, the
you're a
most
senior
important
citizen.
thing that I've learned is always wear sunscreen.
Oh, that video.
Is that really?
Now, one thing that I have learned is, and a lot of people don't know this, no place is better than another.
What?
You know, a lot of people say, well, if I just lived here, or if I just lived there, or all
Things
that
would
kind
be
of stuff.
better.
Yeah, things would be better
I
if I
don't
lived
know.
here. And usually that means that things would probably be better if you change your perspective of what you think is better, good.
Got him. Got him. Come here, boy.
If I lived here,
Don't
things
mess
would
it
be
up.
good
I'm not gonna.
because
Oh,
I've been
You're
all
not.
over.
Get him, Millie. Perfect time, Millie. Good
this is the
timing.
big one.
I'm proud of you. Go attack him again. Go give him kisses again.
Oh, well,
You're doing something wrong.
No,
gotta wait until he wears out.
he's so close. Almost tasted. Fish, I'm fishing.
I think that's a bass. Looks like a largemouth bass.
Oh man.
Who influenced you the most growing up, Paul?
Hmm.
Come on, fish. Come on. I got him. Gotta bring him to the.
Why do you keep calling me Paul? My name's Hank.
You are wearing a white shirt.
That boy ain't right.
You are not gonna get this.
Oh, I will.
What are you? Are you not reeling it in?
I am. I'm holding.
Drag
it.
is set pretty slack.
There's some button you're not pushing.
No. Oh
You spent
man.
so long holding
I
on.
know.
You need to go back and learn how to do it. Because there's something you're not doing right.
I know one thing. When I was fishing,
When you were a kid.
yeah, if Elizabeth hadn't been there and we lost a fish and she laughed like that, she wouldn't be fishing with us next time.
Somehow he keeps inviting me to watch him play this
I
game.
think the reason why you lost that fish was because it was so big.
Pay attention to what it
The big ones
says.
always get away.
Got it.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna laugh because you're acting all cool, but you're the one who lost it.
And that totally bites. That I lost
I'm
it.
really not sure why you lost it.
Millie, stay down.
But I'm not gonna lose.
I think that in this game they may have it programmed to where that when it turns, you're not supposed to until it backs
I think-
away.
No, he's missing a part of it because he didn't listen to the instructions. And every time he does something like this, and I tell him what to do, he doesn't listen for the first like 3 times, and then once he does, he then eventually can complete it.
Getting back to your question, I don't think there was any person. There was no one person that was most influential.
That's the wrong one, isn't it? Oh. Well, you get its attention quick. Neither of your parents influenced you that much?
Well, no, not really. I mean, it was kind of a combination.
Millie, come here.
It was a combination of my grandparents and my parents. But what I was saying is, people always think, you know, that if I lived there, think there, I'm gonna move because of this and that. And I've been all over the United States, and and I've lived different places, but I've traveled all over and every place is the same as another.
Huh.
There's a little bit more population and people, and I don't like that at all. I don't like being
you
where
want
it's
country?
overpopulated.
Really? No.
Want country?
Yeah, I'm more prone to
No.
like country.
You doing? Come on, bite it.
But like California, I don't. I lived in California when I was born in California, Los Angeles. I was actually born in La Mirada.
Oh, I didn't grab it. Oh, I need it. Wonder if I can get. Can I lure him? Nah, I think.
And there was a bunch of us that went.
With your dad's dad?
Yeah, a bunch of my brothers, 'cause I had 7 brothers. And we were fishing on the Red River, well, a spur of the Red River, the North Fork of the Red River, close to the Red River. And we went down on our property down there, and we were fishing, and they all had rods and reels. And I think my younger brothers had new. They were pretty proud of. And my granddad gets out there, and he's real old at the time, you know. He's like, "Yeah, you guys gotta help me."
Right.
And we were helping him, you know, get through the barbed wire fence because we had cattle on the land. We had to go through the fence to get to the river because couldn't use the river as a fence because the cattle would go right through the river and be gone. So, in order to get right down to the riverbank, you had to go through the barbed wire fence. So we got down there on this riverbank and we were fishing. And my younger brother, Tim, he and Granddad didn't quite get along very well at all. And Tim just didn't like Granddad, and Granddad, for some strange reason, he didn't understand Tim whatsoever. He always gave him a hard time.
Yeah.
There was one log out there in the middle of the river, and it was like a tree stump sticking up, and it had a bunch of debris from when it had flooded.
Yeah.
But it was only about the size of like maybe 18 inches around of just some debris out there in the middle of this big river. And we all cast out there, and Tim cast out. The only thing out there not to put your lure on or whatever, get hung up on. He casts out and hits that debris right on. And we all start laughing. Tim was getting upset, and Granddad said, "What do you do, boy?" And we all got a kick out of it, except Tim. Tim was furious. Granddad's like, "What's the matter with you, boy?"
It's just so stubborn.
Or you're just that bad.
Probably.
I think I had no problems with it.
Oh yeah.
It really was. It took a while to get its attention, but it only took me the one time when I got its attention. But I also read all of the instructions on how to fish.
On it.
What did the instructions say?
I don't remember now.
Bed.
Did you used to do a lot of fishing when you were living at home?
Me?
Yeah.
No. No, I did go fishing. The first time I like really went fishing was Chad and I. The one time we didn't catch anything, and then the second time we were with James, and he knew it like
Fish boss.
yeah, he knew
Oh,
exactly what to
I
do.
love nothing better than sitting out there. And you don't even have to catch a fish.
Well, now I
Just being
realize.
out there is so much enjoyable. I mean, very enjoyable. Like they
What?
say, there's never a bad day fishing.
So Paul, what was the best day of your life?
The best day of my life is any day that I get to spend with Dad.
Wow.
You know you have another kid, right?
Awesome.
Oh, that'd be even better, but
That's true. Okay, did you have a favorite when they were little? Was Chad always your favorite?
I wasn't
I don't
around
think Dad-
often that much when he was
I
little.
don't think
I
Dad
did.
played favorite.
There was
Every parent does.
Okay. No, man. Why?
I think
Why
that,
don't you follow the directions?
All right. Getting this.
I think there are favorite ages of your kids.
You don't think you have a favorite kid? Like when they were like, do you think Chad's just your favorite? Let's just be honest.
No, I don't think that Chad's my. I think that
Am I your
I'm
favorite?
closer to Chad because I've spent more time with him.
So am I your favorite?
I'm not that close to you because I haven't spent that much time with you.
But you can still make me your favorite.
You're my favorite daughter-in-law yet.
That's lame.
Only
You're your only
daughter-in-law.
daughter-in-law.
Maybe that's why you're my favorite.
We at church last night, a couple of the ladies were talking about their kids having favorites, or them having favorites between their kids, and they were honest.
And I'm
Wait.
being dishonest?
Wait, but who are these ladies?
It was Elizabeth.
No.
She has a favorite, and
No.
Jamie has a favorite.
I think that
They're not the same kid, but it's not Gavin.
Oh my word.
It's true. This is why you shouldn't have
you
one
shouldn't
kid.
be talking out of school. This is going on the internet forever.
I'd say who their favorites were. I'm pretty sure we all know my mom's favorite was Joseph.
I mean, she says it's not, but it.
She would like this. She can say whatever she wants. Okay, but facts are facts. Joseph, first of all, never had to lift a finger all of his life. He's only 11 months younger than me. He never had to do his chores. She would do them and tell my dad that he did them.
And he's the baby, that's why.
No. And he's the only boy. But he's definitely her favorite. And he also, like, when I, like, at 13, I think was the rule. It was like 11. No, it was 11. We had to start doing our own laundry. Joseph didn't start doing his own laundry until he was 23 years old.
But he's a boy.
So?
Woman's work.
Oh, that.
Cad's wife.
Oh, my.
Okay, we got him. We got him. We're not letting him go.
You let him
I
go
am
last time.
not letting him go.
You let him go twice so far.
I know, but this.
Are you sure about that? It doesn't look successful.
I like the way y'all change the subject.
Sorry.
This isn't gonna work. He's facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, because if they're running away, you can't be pulling too much. Now, when he
Nah,
and
he
you
ain't
gotta
gonna get it.
don't be pulling when he
He's
comes
getting
out of the
distracted.
water because
He's not doing something.
he'll shuck the
Hold
hook.
on, we're close.
I learned this from my granddad.
He ain't gonna get it.
Oh,
I didn't have to read
I
instructions.
don't want to replay Tim's debacle.
I know.
Come on. Oh.
Boy, what's wrong with you? Yee.
But no wait, so he
You
never
don't
had
know
lift
how
a
to
finger,
fish?
right? Also, in addition, any time that he was messing with me, like there's a distinct memory of we had this pickup and it had a bench seat, so like all three people had to sit in the front. There was no back seat, and I think Joseph was in the middle, and he was just sitting there poking me over and over again in the side, and I kept telling him to stop. And my mom was like, finally got on him, and she goes, Joseph, stop! I'm sick of hearing her. Like he didn't get in trouble for doing it. He got in trouble because of me. She was mad at me, and he was the one poking me. Yeah, I think you should just give up. You're
It's
not.
just such a fish.
Maybe you looked into it, and that's the perspective that you saw it at.
What other perspective
She
is
was
there?
getting after him.
We're so close. Yes.
Was she not?
I would love so hard.
Yes.
Oh, I would have been so funny if
Oh.
you lost it.
That took forever.
That's it, 18 pounds. You couldn't handle 18 pounds. You're such a baby little fairy boy.
You want to get thinking on it, Elizabeth. Okay. That took forever, man.
Wasted more people's time.
Oh,
Welcome
I really
to
love
another
that
episode
story.
where he does nothing.
I really love that story of Tim and your grandpa.
Oh, it's funny. Ask your Uncle John about it. That was.
Paul, how would you like
That
to be
was
remembered?
This fish is huge. It looks
How
like a
would
new
I
record.
like to be remembered?
Yeah.
As a great person to be around and a lot of fun. Funny person.
You
Always
better start working on that now.
always make everybody feel good.
All right.
Just to be remembered.
And there goes the full 30 minutes.
Yeah, just about.
Just to be remembered is good.
How did you lose
I'm the
half a
director.
heart in that?
So I know. I don't know. I have a question for you. What was your first job, and how did you like it?
Did anybody
job.
like their first job? I take it back. I like my first job.
My first paying job, you mean?
Yeah.
Where I actually did get paid.
Yeah. What was that?
That was being a farmhand, driving tractors and stuff when I was like 13. Just working on the farm was the first job I ever had that I got paid.
That's pretty cool.
But I did go. I used to go with my dad and help him. He was driving the truck. I'd go with. And he was hauling cotton burrs from the cotton can with a dump truck, and I would go with him. And I'd ride in the passenger seat on Friday nights all night and Saturday. And I'd go out, get him on the truck after school and work all night. And he paid me with at the end of the cotton season, I worked all through the winter doing that, getting out and opening the gates for him and helping and loading the truck for him, where all he had to do was the driving and sit in the office and drink coffee and stuff. And I'd drive the truck and load it up and everything. A lot of times I'd do all the work, and all he'd do, because Mom wouldn't let me drive on the roads because I was too young to have. I didn't have a license.
Yeah.
And even though they were old farm roads, and stuff like that, but at the end of the whole thing, I guess I got paid by getting to have free pop and hot chocolate and things out of the Tom's vending snacks and stuff, which to me was a big deal because we didn't never get to eat out or anything. We always had to eat whatever was at the, always.
Well,
We always ate around the table, though. The whole family, everybody.
that was a big table.
Huh?
That must have been a big table.
Yep.
This guy gives me the creeps, man.
But at the end of the whole thing, the way he paid me was he bought me a transistor radio. It was back in the days of the boom boxes. and mine wasn't even stereo.
Guess he's gonna die.
And I started listening to the radio. This is
God.
back during the early 80s. Like, this had to have been like 1980. And had no idea that before the end of the 80s I'd be a master professional truck driver.
That's cool. You've stuck with it forever.
Yeah, I've been
That's
a truck
amazing.
driver for
My
Crazy.
dad, like, only job, like, career has been truck driving. That's the whole reason he went into the military.
was to be
Was
a
he
truck
wanted
driver.
to be a truck driver, and it worked out for him.
Man, if I went in the military, I'd want something other
I don't know. That was his.
than be a lot of crane operators see that I did do some work with crane operating.
I didn't know that.
I've operated some cranes, but not any length of time. I worked
Ooh,
at
another
Exxon,
temple.
and whenever the crane operators would get off work because they didn't want to pay them overtime because they made the big bucks, they knew that I knew a little bit about operating the cranes. But I worked as a rigger a lot, and the rigger is the guy on the ground that hooks up any of the metal that was in the parts, pipes, and I worked right with the crane operators all the time. But they'd send them home because they didn't want to pay them overtime, and then they'd keep me after because I didn't make as much money, and they'd have me operate the crane because it was cheaper.
Good night. That, to me, like, without knowledge of how to operate it, it seems like it'd be a little stressful. Wild.
All it is just pulling
What song did you just
pulling
learn?
levers
Not
and
turning
knowing.
shadow.
One thing that I learned about crane operating was that you don't want to get in a hurry on things.
Right.
But I learned that from my older brother Revis put me in a crane one.
Oh wow. That makes me curious of all your siblings, right? Who are the 2 or 3 that you say you were closest with, and like, or just that you really, and every time you spend time with them, you enjoy yourself a whole bunch?
John.
Definitely John. John's like the
Pretty
OG.
boy John.
John's the OG. Pretty boy. Elizabeth calls John pretty boy.
Just because he got rid of all of his hair and shaves and shines his head.
He's the best looking midget of your
Even more
siblings.
so. Even more so than her own husband. He's the
I
best
mean,
looking
if you
midget.
turn out to look like your Uncle John in old age, I would have done real well.
He must be doing like salads and grilled chicken, man.
Yeah. But
I think that are you body shaming us?
I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not the one body
I
shaming
feel a
you.
little bit
What's
bald
worse-
shamed and body shamed and
No, what was worse is when we went out to California, some lady mentioned to me,
why didn't
that
you get that guy?
she said, you must be feeding him well, and then said he turned out to look like the rest of the middies.
That is,
So I'm just saying, I'm
That's
not
not a-
body shaming.
You don't have to feed us well.
You just gotta feed you.
genetics will take care of the
Gonna,
rest.
yeah, we're gonna look like that if we don't try.
Takes a lot of trying. Takes time. And plus, like, man, I think that like medics just, they know how to eat.
Well, I know that growing up, we always didn't have enough to eat. When you got to eat, I say we didn't have enough to eat. We probably had enough to eat, but when you're that big of a family, and sometimes there wasn't that much to eat, and so everything would be eaten by the end of mealtime. So you learn to eat a lot and fast to try and get as much as you possibly could because you didn't want to try and go to bed if you were still hungry.
Doing another song? One just wasn't enough for this temple?
This is the song that'll turn me to. And guess what? Little baby Link.
Yes?
Alright, check this out.
What?
Check the well he's gonna
This is why I don't like this guy.
yeah, no you don't. I like Sheik. That's he's
Where's Baby Link?
this song is so cool.
It's really not. Does this make you Baby Link?
Yeah.
This reminds me of the.
Wait, why are you going back to being
Yeah.
a child again?
I tell everyone about the sword and the
The
stone.
Sword and the Stone.
About whenever I got it.
When Chad was that little
Why are
dude
you
right
Baby
there,
Link again?
that little dude picture when he was like,
Yeah.
how old were you?
There I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, you probably were 4 years old. Aunt Lisa, my sister, came to, and she got Chad, little Chad, got him a Disney movie because he loved Disney movies. That's why he wanted to get the Beagle dogs because we only wanted to get one, but they said that, when learning about them, that they do better. They have friends.
Yeah.
They're not a loner dog. But he wanted one because of the Fox and the Hound. And he loved that movie.
No. I didn't know that it was
Yeah.
because Fox and the Hound.
That's not even a beagle.
No,
What's a
but
hound? It's
a
a hound
beagle
dog.
is kind of a hound. But anyway, Lisa came to visit, and that Sword in the Stone movie, Disney, he had every known to man. I
On
think.
VHS. Like
Yeah, on
one
the
time-
VHS.
one time I lined them all up in the hallway and pushed them over like dominoes. They were so
And she got him Sword in the Stone, which I think was about the only one he didn't have. And
it's the last one.
All you're telling me is I married a Disney nerd.
and
You already knew.
we got ready to put Chad to bed, little Chad, and we'd go in there and say his prayers, and he's in there. Lisa came in to say prayers with Chad, so while Chad's saying good night prayer before he goes to sleep, he's kneeling down there. I think he knelt by your bed, or might have been in your bed. I think by your right before you come in. And Chad's right in the middle of his little prayer. Thank you for this, and thank you for that, and Lisa. He said, and thank you for the music she got for me. And then he looks up and says, where did you get that movie? Right in the middle of his prayer. And I said, Chad, you're talking to God.
Chad, you're talking to God, and I was like, oh yeah.
And then
And
he
thank you for
He remembered his prayer, finished it up. And
But
then
Lisa was
then he
Lisa
started
was
asking,
laughing, I
and
think.
Lisa couldn't hardly hold it. Then he was like,
You have to do this as Baby Link?
Yeah. Because you can't crawl through the adult link. I think that like
This isn't even Baby
we've
Link.
reached something.
I don't want to disrupt.
Okay. we're gonna move on. Next episode, we'll go in through here and find out what